Hari Om to all the Atmajyotis. So today we are on the final day of our Kathajyoti storytelling workshop. So very happy to see some children joining and going to exhibit whatever they have learned through their story. Right? So as usual, we start our session with the prarthana. Okay. So, Om Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwarah, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां नारायणसमारम्भां व्यासशङ्करमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Okay. So, as you all know, yesterday we have discussed on few head topics that each one would want to take up. And Akshat is today ready with the topic that was given to him. I think it is about the camel and the hump. Okay, Akshat, whenever you are ready, you can switch on your video and go ahead with your story. Yeah. Akshat, are you there?
Hari Om to all the Atmajyotis, the divine light of self. Today, I'll be telling how camel got its hump. Once upon a time, a camel and a horse were best friends. They walked together, they played together, they went to graze together, and they even went to the river and drank water together. Even their parents were friends. Time passed. In the forest, a Nilgai came. You must be wondering, no, what is Nilgai? It is actually as tall as a camel, but it looks like deer, but its behavior will be like cow.
Huh? Oh, nice.
You can see it in Banirkata Zoo.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So the Nilgai came to the forest. It was so new. All the animals would do like, oh, who is this person? He's a foreigner, they would say. But the camel and the horse became friends with the Nilgai. One day, the Nilgai took them to a beautiful place, a magical place. It was not like a normal forest. It had big flowers, different kinds of flowers and birds, very big trees, and different species of birds which had different colors. The horse and the camel were amazed to see this. While they were passing, a fruit fell into the camel's back. Gav! Ah! The camel screamed, and it was terrified. Nilkai told, "Oh, my dear friend, don't get afraid." At that time, a fairy appeared and said, "Oh, my dear camel, don't get afraid. You will get your hump and you will be the king of the desert, a new place where it will not be like the forest that you were living in before. There will not be more plants. There will be full of sand. The camel started crying, but everyone would look at me very differently, no. But the fairy said, no, everyone will start pleading you when they want to move from one place to another place in the desert. You will be very much helpful for everybody. This is the story of how camel got its hump.
Very nice, very nice. I liked it very much, Akshat. Very nice, very interesting idea. And you got some different characters also into it, and you didn't go too much into a lot of stories, and you didn't bring in too many characters also. Only few suggestions. So when you are telling a story, try to be little more emotive, okay? And try to bring in some when you are telling about the conversations, right? You need to have different voice modulations, right? So like for example, oh, why did I, how will I be with this hump? This fell down and now I got the hump. How will I be with this? Or like that. Don't worry. So the voice, you can change the voice like how I taught you, right? So try to bring in that voice modulation. And that was good. I will be alone. What to do? No, everybody will laugh. No, no, no. That you will be this one. That is so very thought provoking. Very nice. I liked it a lot. Very nice. Everybody, shall we switch on your video and clap for our dear Akshat? He has done a wonderful job. He has something on his own, which is excellent. Right? Thank you, Akshat. Okay,
Thank you, Ji.
Sanvi, you can go ahead.
Ji, can you hear me?
Yes, Sanvi, this is your turn now.
Hello everyone, I am Sanvi and today I'll be talking.
Video, Sanvi, your video is not yet on.
Ji, I'm actually outside. Ji, I'm actually outside. I can't turn on the video.
Then how will I know your expressions? For example, I told Akshat ji he need to be little more expressive and he need to have different voice modulation, right? Two things I told him. So now how will I know how Sanvi ji is doing?
Ji, I have a network problem, Ji, outside.
Okay, fine. You go ahead. Later, you need to probably submit a video later of how you are doing it. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Ji. Hello everyone. Today I'll be telling a story about how why the hibiscus sepal is outside the flower and not inside. So once what happened, a princess had a birthday party and she invited all the animals and birds in her kingdom. Her castle was in the jungle, so all she could invite was she had only human. She did not have human friends. She had only animal and birds as her friends. So she invited all the animals for her birthday party. All the mice, giraffe, elephant, deer, all the beautiful animals and birds came and attended her party. Everybody loved her party, but the princess said, "This evening we will have a fun birthday party and we'll have to sleep together." So, and then she found out that everybody could not fit inside her castle. So she asked the mice, "Dear mice, can you please sleep outside in the garden? The flowers are very nice and bloomed. You can nicely sleep over there, and the petals can cover you as their blankets." So the mice agreed and slept over there. Before the hibiscus sepal was inside the flower and not outside. So the mice had to squeeze inside the flower and they comfortably slept. And the next morning, when they woke up, they were surprised to see that the sepals had, because of their weight, the sepals had come outside and it was fixed outside and it would not go inside whatever they tried to do. The mice apologized to the princess, saying, "Dear princess, we're so sorry that we had to sleep like this. Because of our weight, the sepals came outside. We really apologize to you." But the princess said, "It's no worries, dear mice. The flower actually looks better when it's outside. Thank you so much for making my garden more beautiful." So this is how the hibiscus sepal is outside the flower. Thank you.
Very nice, very nice. Again, you are traveling. I think you are little quick. I told you you should be little slow. Okay, and I don't know about high contact, but your voice modulation also you need to improve, right? You need to say, "Oh, what is this? What did I do? I'm so sorry," kind of thing. So you need to give little voice modulation. You need to be little slow, and I somehow feel that there is little incoherence. What is coherence? You need to coin from one scene to the other, to the other. Here there is one scene, immediately you jump to something or something like that. You need to be little uh, explaining the scene. One, I told you how to explain the scene. I think first day you didn't join. You need to have few things like you need to know the scene. What is the scene? Like about the character, how does it look, how the place smell, how the place appear and the surroundings, little explanation, first point. Second point, you need to have the coherence. So this happened, after this happened, after this happened, like how we saw that day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like that. You need to be little constructive. So it was good. I'm not saying it is bad. But the Akshadji's, yours, both are very creative. But Akshadji had that sequence, right? Coining of the scene. Yours, you wanted to just finish it quickly. So there is little bit lag between the first scene to the last scene. So you can little bit bring it as what happened, after this what happened, then this happened, kind of thing. The story is good, but little work on the plot. Okay, you need to work on the plot. You need to be little slow in explaining the story, and you need to give in the voice modulation. I cannot talk about eye contact because you are traveling. So try to it's okay. I also, when I wrote my story, my storyteller was not so happy about my story, because she said she didn't talk about the coherence, but she said that it is not too creative. I would not say that to both of you. It was too creative, both of yours. But there should be little coherence in your story, where you need to bring this to the end. So in the end, you cannot straight away jump to the end. That alone you work on. Otherwise, it is very creative. So you guys are really creative. So I need to learn from you how to be creative. So that was good. So try to use some technique. Like I told you, it can be, you can bring in a song, or you can bring in some other element wherein it is very interesting. So that at least if you want to make it a short story also, you have songs, it will be even more good. Say in the party, you can have a song, or you can just build a story on how you introduce the topic. So straight away, instead of jumping to there was a princess and then party straight away, just give an introduction or background about the princess and go to the story, something like that. So when we write a story, you need to have an introduction first. Second, you need to have a plot. After plot, you need to finally bring in some problem. Because of the problem only, there is a solution. So some problem and solution. For example, if you joined late, I don't know if you listen, Akshat had a problem. Akshat's story had a, sorry, not Akshat. Akshat's story had a problem wherein the camel was walking, and then the fruit fell on him, and it was such a pain. That was a problem. And then there was a hump. That was again a problem. So the pain and the hump created him to shout. So what is the solution? That's where the princess comes and says a solution. So there should be a plot, there should be a problem, and there should be a solution. He had an introduction also, so where he bring in some characters. So, and he brought a scenery about the forest also. So like that, you need to have a scene introduction, you need to have a plot, you need to bring in a problem, and you need to bring in a solution. So slowly move. Do not straight away jump to the conclusion, right? It was good. It was definitely good. Just that you need to be little slow paced and little more explaining about the story. Okay, Sanviji?
Sir, ji, I'll try to improve on my voice modulation, ji.
Right. And also little bit explanation about the story. Okay, little bit more
Yes,
explanation.
ji.
Don't straight away, it was good, but don't straight away come to the conclusion in part, right? So you need
Yes.
to have little more extension of the story, some more scene, or an introduction scene should be there. Here you didn't introduce anything, right? You need to say about the scene, or you need to say about the scenery, or about the princess, or why the party. something like that. So give an introduction first and then go to the plot. You straight away went to the plot, right? So give introduction and then the plot. Final conclusion anyway was good. So I told you already that was good, very creative. Yes. Shriyansh, so when I am expecting you to.
Kathajyoti, can I leave now?
Yeah, you can. Thank you. Thank you, Sanvi,
Kathajyoti.
for joining. Please do send your video. Yeah.
Yes, teacher.
Shriyansh, so what is your idea? You have already written a script or how it is?
I couldn't write it yet, but I'm imagining that it's like it'll be like about 2 pages, like so that's like
Now you understood what I told to Sanviji. You need to have an introduction. You need to have a plot. You need to bring in a problem and finally come to the conclusion. Do not just jump to the conclusion. Do not hurry. Okay. Say action had a very good flow. It was good coherent. Only that he need to be little slow and he need voice modulation, little more eye contact, little bit he was nervous. So only those things he need to work on. He's young. He has a lot of time. So, Shriyansh, you're elder than him. I am expecting you to bring in an introduction, wherein you bring in the reader or listener, whoever is listening. He need to have 5 senses, right? The vision, the smell, the taste, the touch, and the hearing. So, what are the 5 senses? You see if you can bring in all the 5 senses in the introduction. In the introduction. So, in the
oh yes, and then I can say something like
in the
you can
forest.
taste the saltiness of the air or something.
You need to bring in about the forest. That
Okay.
in the forest, how beautiful it is, about the vision. What are the smells that the tiger or anything could you can sense in that forest in the introduction? Or about if there is nothing about taste, it's okay. Not all senses can be brought in. Or you can always in forest we have lot of sound. So hearing related you can bring in. Or
Okay.
some senses kind of thing that about the tiger or anything about the quality of the tiger or how or something.
Okay.
So you bring in all these concepts in the introduction before the plot, so that the people who are listening are feeling that they are in the forest.
Okay, ma'am. So can I what sort of people am I targeting? Like, is it
It is up
like
to you. Actually, you need to tell. Actually, I should have told you
okay.
before starting. You need to tell that this story is targeted for the people who are aged between 3 to 5, 5 to 10, or
Okay.
or teenagers, or elders. You can tell to anybody, right? So the audience is up to you. You need to
Oh,
understand
it's up to me,
who the
okay.
audience you want to address. But usually these kind of stories will not be addressed to elders, right? Because the tiger with a stripe is a small children's story. But it is up to you to decide. I'm not going to give so many restrictions to you. Then you cannot develop a story. So it is up
Okay.
to you to decide. But I want a good introduction. You understand the introduction now, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So give the introduction with the importance to 5 sense organs. So that the listener or the reader is coming along with you. They are not lost. They totally into your story.
Okay.
After that, go to the plot. Go with then slowly bring in some problem, and then bring in the solution that how it looks beautiful now, even with the stripes. So because of the problems, he got the stripes. But even that is beautiful. The solution, some solution that you need to find your creative.
Okay.
So like how Akshat ji got a solution, and that also was creative. So I loved it. So you can bring something like that. So try to be little creative. I'm sure you are already creative. So try to bring in that. I need only that introduction part to be worked on. Otherwise, you're all beautiful.
Okay, thank you.
And try to bring in, if possible, some song or some other way of expressing the story where it is more interesting to listen. For example, we had one story on some 3 friends or 4 friends about friends and representing about from India to in the international platform. So we were representing how India is with though diversity, it has unity. So where we brought some Panchatantra tale kind of thing. So we
Okay.
some song like I got it, or I don't remember the song exactly now, but
Yeah.
I have that YouTube link, I think. So where we got that, we took some time to write the song, and then we again the song had a sad version, the song had a happy version. The hunter will have a happy version. Oh, I got this, or kind of something. I don't remember the tune now. But then he will say, "Oh no, I lost it. What a day, sad day," kind of thing. So the same song, same tune, but with the different lyrics, where he will have a sad version, where he will have a happy version, he will have an angry version, and then the friends will have one song kind of thing, so that the story looks complete. So it has some song, and then introduction. If you want, some of them will have an introduction song. So like I did a comparing recently where I had an introduction poem. So I did an introduction poem about how we need a student has to be, and how a student is not, and how a student after a guru comes, he changes. So like that, that was anyway, that was not related to all children, elders. Like that, you can write a small poem and bring a tune to it, so that it becomes like a sing-songy, and the people who are listening along with you, you can tell them, come along, join and sing along with me, so that they will also sing.
Okay. Mhm.
So you will just lead, they will follow. Something like that, if you can, But
Okay.
if you think and write about it, you can take time also and submit it on Sunday if you want, so that you
Okay.
song, so that they will be like, wow, that's so catchy.
Mhm.
They will feel. So they even in the Kathajyoti, I had done one session with the song. So you can think like that and bring in a song element, so that they will be like, wow,
Okay.
that is so
Mhm.
great, right?
Mhm.
So bring a song.
Mhm.
If you cannot bring a song, you do some other way. Say like a puppet kind of thing, stick. This is talking to this and this, something like that.
Okay.
Nothing works. Bring in fingers. You just draw and color in this, and they can talking
Or
something.
put a sock or put a sock and then on a piece of paper color something and then put it over the sock and like
You can do however that is your creativity, right? Some bring in some element, so that they
okay.
are hooked to your story. They are not like, oh, okay, so what kind of thing, right? So you
Okay.
and also try to be little slow. I told both of them, they were
No.
little quick. Try to. I'm sure you will be, because the way you speak also, I feel that it is little slower. So that's good. Actually, it has to be like that. You cannot be always quick in speaking. So I
Because
like.
then they won't understand the story properly. And then if you're like saying, okay, there was an elephant and then it did this and then it did that. Instead if you say, there was an elephant and then the tiger crept up. Like it builds a suspense as well so that they understand what's going on.
Correct. But try to bring in some elements so that they can visualize it.
Okay.
Either with the puppet or with the song or something, so that they're hooked to your story and they want to listen till the end. Right?
Okay, so should I do a video of this or
If you can do, if somebody can take a video of this, it will be great, because I always do it with movements. Because it's online, I cannot do. But if it's offline, we always do with movements. I go near the children and pounce on kind of
oh
all that, so that they will be like, ah, you, oh, like that. We make a lot of
okay.
different things, so that they will be like, okay, then what? Then what? So we
Okay.
also sometimes I pull the children also. Come. So let him be the fox now, okay? And I call them, so that they will also feel, oh, we are also involved in the story. So I mean, if you want to become a storyteller in future, then you can involve the children who are listening also, so that they will also feel that, wow, I am also part of it. They'll be talking about it to other children, I was part of a storytelling, so kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
It's up to us. But now anyway, there are no much audience. It is only for us to evaluate and see where we stand. But I'm
Okay.
just giving you idea in future. If you want to
Okay.
do something like that, you can bring in some of them, and then they can be spot on suddenly that, hey, you do this. Then they will be doing that. They will be like happy. Oh, okay, I have also done something. They will think that I have learned something. So from that, everybody will raise hand. I also want to be it. I also want to be it. And then you can bring in more children. And
Okay.
suddenly, if you feel they are not listening, you need to question them, or you need to probably ask them, what do you want the plot to continue? and you can see majority, and probably if you can even change the plot in the sometimes we have done that. The children are not
change it
happy.
to like still having the basis of the story that you have, and then building on with what they say, and then
What they say. So because some of them are not happy, I've seen they are not happy. Okay, what do you want? No, let the fishes meet again back. Okay, now the fishes are coming back from this land to that land, and they meet again back. So okay, they're so happy. So the Rama and Sita came again and they met together. They're so happy. Yay! They were clapping. So the guy was giving a voting poll. So they were all saying meeting, meeting. Okay, meeting. They don't want a sad ending. I made a sad ending. So like that, you can change it as per their wishes also. So these are all some ideas what we can. So these are all advanced level where we learned all that. But just for the basic level, don't think too much. But just an idea of what we can, because we have time. I thought I can share the sessions what we have already done, where we had different ideas of what that this guy and this guy are lost, and then they cannot meet, and they had a different lifestyle and everything. But then the children were not so happy, so we made a story that they joined back.
Oh, it was like the tree and boy story, because like that they go on with their own, and then they meet back finally, and then
Correct. Like that, these fishes go on their own, and then this one became that, and this became, but they were not so happy. Then finally they came back again, and one day they met, and then they now their lives, they share about their lives, and they learn from each other. So they were so happy. Yes, they were clapping. That was a small audience, like LKG, UKG children. So it is up to us. If you feel they are not happy, or if you feel they are not listening to you, you can make them listen or make them involve into the story so that they will come back. So think in those lines anyway, but that is for the next level. But for this level, let us all go slowly with the plot, with the introduction, with the plot, with the problem, and with the solution. So that we just straight away jumping to the solution like Sanviji's, somehow you feel the story is not complete, right? You listen to her story. So where she didn't have a strong plot, so she just came to the solution. That's it. So there was
it's like another example is like the say that you're in the middle of a story, and say two best friends have been, say, caught in a say they are birds, and they're two best friends, and then a storm comes, and then they can't find each other, and then they like just fly away somewhere. And then it's like saying one day they were just flying, and then they met each other again. They're like, there's not actually the actual problem, like yeah,
there is no strong plot in a story. She just wanted to say something, for that she had written. Okay, so I would not say it's bad. For starting it can be okay, but then we need to bring in some strong plot, because of which I loved Akshat's plot, where he had a real problem, and then he was not happy about what happened, but then the princess said that no, it is a boon for you. So that way the problem became a solution, and then the problem itself is converted to a solution. And then he gave an idea also that you become a king of a desert, where though there's not so animals, people will use you and they will need you. That was another takeaway, where that you cannot, like, there's so many takeaways from the story. So I loved it the way he brought it. So we can make it such an interesting plot, right? It has to be strong. Don't straight away jump to something. This, you think this, you write a conclusion, from that you go to the plot. No, you go through the plot. If it takes many times also, it's okay, scrutinize. We took 1 week to rewrite. No, we are not happy. Strike down, write again. So they made to sure that we had adjectives also, with the smell, with all that, and so many adjectives we had to write. And then we had a lot of adverbs also, like so that quickly or hastily, so many things, so that you make the scene understandable. So we had a lot of, because we were elders, we had a lot of serious assessment.
But then also you shouldn't like cram pack it with adjectives. Then it just loses the feel, because if you say there was a gigantic, big blue tree, and then and then next to the tree was a gigantic big blue mouse, and it just like ruins too much. But you should add it, like you said, hastily it moved, and then like yes, like you said, you should use some adjectives to entice.
Yeah, only then they will know that scene. They will understand the scene. Or else
Yeah.
you just say an elephant, they cannot imagine it so well like what you imagined. So you need to give them like the scene, what you are picturizing. They should be in your story. They should not be in their own world. So bring them to your story, make them realize what you are telling, and then go through the story so that it connects, the audience will connect with you. Only then they will come back to you, or else they will not listen to your story. This
Mhm,
guy is like
okay.
saying something nonsense, I don't want to listen to him, or they will be in their own world. So that will not be fruitful. So try to bring in a lot of elements so that they will be hooked to your line, right?
Okay.
So you have lot of time, you don't hurry, it's okay, take it one more day also, do it on Sunday, that's fine. So but then try to you yourself be critical to your story, like you rewrite, you don't feel satisfied with the first one, keep rewriting and see that it comes good. So not to be like okay, this is fine. So I feel that Sanviji did that, so she wrote a plot and she was okay with it. No, we need to scrutinize it and rewrite it so that you are really satisfied and you know that you can bring the audience along with you with that story, right?
Okay.
So with that note, we are coming to an end of this. I'm so happy that at least somebody joined and you understood the technique of what it is. And
Okay, thank you.
I'm sure Akshadji and Sanviji also knows it, and Akshadji was very creative. Sanviji was since traveling, she couldn't do it well, but I'm sure she can write it and rewrite it and do it well. But
I think you should set it as I think in the Kathajyoti group, you should do it as like a mini competition thing, and then say that the winner gets a mention at say any time, and then there's like even on WhatsApp you can send like emoji. Woohoo! This person won the competition or something, and then you can get them to write stories and then listen.
Instead of competitions, I want the children to write more. To write more. Only when you write more, you will be able to emote it well. Otherwise, your emotions become limited. Only you write, then you will have different emotions like anger or like upset or hungry or so many emotions you can bring.
Okay.
Right?
So can you not is it not a good idea just to record it and then re-record it instead of writing it, or what's the best way to do it?
No, first, when you only write it, only then you will know, right? When you write it, only then you will know how can you record, right? So without the plot written, how can you know how to enact? That's why yesterday we talked about the process of storytelling, where we talked on how to do it. We need to, if it's a listening already book there, then you
Okay.
can listen. But if there is nothing, you are only going to write it. You need to write it. Without writing, you cannot talk about it. Suddenly, like it will become like Sanviji's plot straight away to the conclusion.
Right.
You need
Will typing it be
yeah, anything. You need not want to
okay.
see the story. I'm not going to want to, because this is not a writing session. It is more on a storytelling session. Writing session also I have attended, like creative writing, or my child also have attended. But this is not that, right? So because Kathajyoti is more on the storytelling and not a creative writing session. Creative writing session, that is little different, where you need, that is, I become very critical. I cannot accept these kind of stories also.
Yes, because
I need a lot of adjective, I need adverb, I need the scene plot well, and I need
setting things.
introduction, really mesmerizing introduction. So I'm not going into the creative writing part, because it takes a lot of energy of yours, and it requires at least for this kind of age, at least for a month or 2 to 3 weeks to scrutinize, because I take a lot of time to make you to rewrite again and again. I don't know these days how many children are really interested in that. But then I'm not going into the creative writing part. It is up to you. But I want the plot and the starting of the story to be like coherent. not straight away jumping. Okay, so that it flows. Like that day I told you, no, Sunday this happened, Monday this happened, like that. So it should be flowing. It should not be like jumping from one scene to the other and something is missing. What is that? You should not, nobody should think like that. You should have a sequence in the story, right? I just want that. I'm not going to ask you to send you a script. Don't bother about it. I
Okay.
just want your video. The writing part, you do it, typing or writing, or
Okay.
it's up to you. Or recording and then seeing if it's not good, recording again. That's all up to you. But then if you write, I personally like writing because only when we write, we get a lot of ideas. So it's up to you, right? So, but then I want only the video. Okay, try to bring in a video,
Okay.
and I will see if it is like how I have told you about the communication skill, about the eye contact, about the gestures what you use, or the song, or any other form of creative ideas, presentation, or the puppet, or whichever you feel you are good at, or the story needs based on that.
Okay.
Right. Okay, Akshadji, are you there for the ending prarthana?
Yes, Ji.
Okay, please switch on your video.
Om Asato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya Om Shanti 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 ನಾನು ನಾನೆಂಬುದು ನಾನಲ್ಲ ಈ ದೇಹ ಮನ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ನಾನಲ್ಲ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದಾತ್ಮ ಶಿವನಾನು ನಾನೇ ಶಿವೋಹಂ 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 ದರ್ಶನಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮದರ್ಶನಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮದರ್ಶನಂ ಸತ್ಯದರ್ಶನಂ ಅಂತರ್ಜ್ಯೋತಿಃ ಬಹಿರ್ಜ್ಯೋತಿಃ ಪ್ರತ್ಯಜ್ಯೋತಿಃ ಪರಾತ್ ಪರಃ ಜ್ಯೋತಿರೇವ ಜ್ಯೋತಿಃ ಸ್ವಯಂ ಜ್ಯೋತಿಃ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಯೋತಿಃ ಶಿವೋಸ್ಮ್ಯಹಂ लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु हरिः ओम तत्सत् श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः
Very nice, Akshat. Thank you. And thanks, Shriyans, for joining. Okay, expecting your video soon. Hari Om.